Hello and welcome back to another episode of SAFC Fan TV, where we're currently picking our best 11. So if you've been watching, you'll have seen we've just settled on our back four. So our back four is Thomas Sorensen, John Kay, Gary Bennett, John Mensah and Michael Greer. You'd agree it's a fantastic back four. But like we've been saying, get yours in the comments below and we'll see what your best 11 is over the years. Tonight, we're going to be picking our best centre midfield pairing. This one's going to be quite difficult because there's been quite a few good ones over the years. So, Mike, do you want to pick your first centre midfielder?
Can I just say, and this is the hardest one, because I had 3 and then 4. As I start remembering people, it's like that list is going up. But my first one and my number 1 is Kevin Ball. So, I mean, 300 appearances, absolute legend, captain, just superb. And what I like about him is an old school enforcer. That's what I like. You know, absolute dominating people. And, yeah, strikers would fear to be tackled by someone like Bally.
Good shout. Good shout. Club legend as well.
Definitely.
Conrad, you're first.
Hard to beat that one. However, I like as we've seen from John Mensah, I like my injury-riddled players, that what could have been about them. So, because he was just finesse personified on the ball when he played, and he was an absolute unbelievable defensive midfielder for us when he was fit, which is Jan Kirchhoff for us. He was absolute quality. Apart from his disastrous debut where they did play the centre-back, though, I'm just going to say, he wasn't a centre-back. Yeah, he was a central defensive mid. When he sat in front of our back line, he was just absolute class. Just the way he intercepted things and would just lay it off, and he just knew exactly what he was doing on his role. It's just such a shame he was made of glass. But I think if he could have stayed fit, what a signing that would have actually turned out to be from Allardyce, and what a coup to get someone like him in as well for us. And he was unbelievable, the way he played and the way he sort of won possession back for us, and the way he didn't have to. You've come from Bayern Munich, you didn't have to sort of put any effort into coming to Sunderland, really. We've seen lots of players come in and not bother, like Jermaine Lenz just didn't really ever buy into it, or anything like Dillaboji just didn't ever really care, but he came straight in and he was like, no, I know what this is about. And yeah, unbelievable player.
Good. That's 2 good ones there. 2 good ones. Well, my first one is a guy we had on loan 2015-2016. Played 37 games, 1 goal. Jan Villa. Thought he was absolutely...
Wasn't who I was thinking of. I got the wrong year. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Ki Sung-yun. He wasn't a bad player, though. I was like, oh, interesting.
But Villa, he was just tremendous. You know,
he's the only man I've ever seen do a slide tackle. You think, hang on, he's down far too early to get that. Their player's running off with the ball, and then suddenly realises he's no longer got the ball, and then Villa's already up and walking off with it somewhere else. He was quality, and he had a good free kick on him as well.
He did, took a good free kick. I think he wasn't there a story, might have been a couple of years ago, where apparently he turned up at the airport and expecting us to sign him, or trying to get us to sign him back. I would love to come back.
I don't want to remember that day. That day still haunts me, seeing his Instagram post of, they're not answering my calls. Yeah. They won't answer the door. And I'm just like we've got a world-class player trying to sign for him. Just do it. Like, what is the matter with you? Like, I loved it. And again, he's another one who didn't have to come in. He's playing Champions League football. He bought into everything about Sunderland, and he epitomised what we needed in the midfield as well. And yeah, just unbelievable.
Yeah. Again, another one that was let's throw things and should have signed, had him on loan.
But then we spent 3 times as much on Undon the season afterwards.
Done it.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's the first one. So that's Kevin Ball, Jan Kirchhoff, and Jan Villa. Mike, who's your second one?
My second one, I was torn between quite a few. I'm a big fan of Catamol, but he didn't quite make it for me. I've got great memories of this player, and I thought he played a lot more games than he did. And it's Claudio Reyna, the USA.
You mean Claudio?
Claudio.
Claudio.
Yeah, but honestly, the memories of him, how creative he was, an absolute battler, just superb. It's the kind of attitude you want to see from any player in a Sunderland shirt, and he epitomised that. And again, I think he was another one that was injury that put him out in the end. We sold him on to City. I mean, so his career just kept going up.
He was so gutted the day that he got injured at Bolton when he was out for the season for us, because it was such a loss for us. And you maybe think under Peter Reid at that point, maybe the season might have not gone the way it did when we ended up getting relegated without him in the midfield. And, such a loss that season. He was a quality player.
And to stand out on a pitch like he does in my memory, when you've got people like Phillips on the pitch, just tells you the kind of class he was. So yeah, Rayner for my second.
Nice one. Conrad, who's your second one?
I think he only played a season, but he wasn't on loan. Don Hutchison.
Good shot.
Absolute brilliant player Don Hutchison was. So, like, we came up the first season, we did really well. We finished 7th, and we needed to add a bit of personality and a little bit of, like, I don't want to say flair, because it wasn't like he was doing rainbow flicks or something, but just a little bit of like an ego to his game, just to mix it in with what we already had established in our sort of culture of the team. He was just quality, from bursting runs from midfield and chipping in with goals as well. Obviously, scoring the derby is a great one as well, but I'm sure he had winners against Liverpool and West Ham as well. He scored away at Chelsea. He was an absolute brilliant player for us, just goal-scoring midfielder, battling midfielder, tough tackling midfielder as well. And the way he celebrated Niall Quinn's header at St. James's Park just by running over and literally just bouncing on top of Mickey Gray for the cross. He hasn't even scored it, but he's just gone absolutely mental on Michael Gray. It's the only thing that tarnished his thing for me was I was 10 at the time, and I wanted Hutchison on the back of my shirt. And back then it wasn't £10, £15, whatever you wanted. It was £1.50 per letter. And it's like a £5 per number. So my birthday's in April. So I asked Mum, can I have a Sunderland shirt with Hutchison 4 on the back? And he'd gone in June.
I've just realised that's why my dad got Arca on the back of mine.
Yeah, my mum was like, I'm sure you like Alex Ray. That's the one you really want.
I've done a bar on the back of mine.
Yeah. Exactly. No, Don Hutchison was class.
Nice one.
Player.
Yeah, maybe there's some talent there. Well, my second one played in 1998 to 1999. Played 62 games and scored 3 goals.
It's not Lee Clark, is it?
No.
Oh,
it's Stefan Schwartz.
What's the story everyone says about Stefan Schwartz?
You tell me.
Oh, he has a clause in his contract. He can't go to space. Did you not know that?
I didn't actually know.
What? I thought that was like coming up. Yeah, if you Google it, he was a big sort of. I don't know if he just loved space or whatever, but yeah, he kept wanting to be like one of the first people to ever go to space on the like commercial flights, as it were. So Sunderland put in his contract, you are categorically not allowed to go to space while you're a Sunderland player. Like, it's almost as ridiculous as Martial from Man United have a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract. It's just as ridiculous. Like,
I did not know that. So anyway, he played 62
sure
games.
That's true. You'll have people in the comments will have to correct me, but I'm sure that's true.
That's going to be the most random thing I've ever heard in a contract. Yeah. But he was on the pitch. He was class. He was absolute class. You know, Swedish international. I think he was when he came. Might have been slightly past his best, but again was another one of those players who stood out on the pitch. He was absolute head and shoulders above anybody else. You know. So for me, Stefan Schwartz was my second choice.
That's good. So what have we got there? We've got Ball, Kirchhoff,
Villa, Rayner, Hutchinson, and Schwartz. Now that's quite.
You'd hate to be a manager having to pick 2 of them, would you?
Can we have 2 honourable mentions? One, I've already said Lee Cattermole. Okay. Because he did a lot for the club. I know he's had bad times and good times, but he's been there through the lot. And he's the guy you want on the pitch in a derby. And the other one's Paul Bracewell.
Bracewell was the one I was going to pick.
Yeah, because I mean, from going to the final in 1992, and I just remember him. He captained us, I think, in that final. But yeah, I know we lost it. But is it the Milk Cup then? before the Coca-Cola? It was the Milk Cup.
Milk Cup against Norwich.
Yeah.
Can I have an honourable mention just for one match?
One match?
Yeah. Dixon Atuhu versus Spurs at home when we first got Roy Keane. One absolute quality game he had in that one match. It's a shame that was it after that, really. But unbelievable in that first game.
Who's that, Equa?
Yeah. Oh, man, we've got to pick two of them. Right, so if we split them, right, if we have a defensive sitting one and a sort of, we haven't got any attacking mids in that because we can sort of, they might go in with the strikers. So as a defensive mid, then if we're picking one who's there, you've got your Kevin Balls, you've got your Kirchhoff. I think Villa could play that. I wouldn't say Villa is a defensive midfielder.
No, but I've got to push for Kevin Ball because of this team, he would be my captain.
You was like a team for the late break. That's what you want.
Yeah,
that's what Sunderland fans want. So who did you say, Wayne, as well? You got Mvia, and what was your third?
Stefan Schwartz.
Your third, sorry, you said Stefan Schwartz. Was he a defensive mid or was he?
No, he
had a fair few goals.
Like a creative midfielder. He scored 3 goals in 62 games, but he was more of a creative.
I'll relent to Kevin Ball over Kirchhoff just because of Kirchhoff's injury record and Kevin Ball's tackle on Duncan Ferguson that went 60 yards nearly into his own net was just iconic moment of you can tackle a ball further than you can kick it. Like unbelievable. And yeah, for leadership as well, I suppose. Yeah, you've got your captain right there.
Yeah.
Well, they are Kevin Ball's one, so we need to pick another one out of Kirchhoff and Villa, Reina, Hutchinson, and Schwartz. I'd be tempted out of them to pick Hutchinson.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't really want to move off of Hutchinson because out of all of them, I think we only signed Reina because we didn't keep Hutchinson.
Yeah,
Mvia wasn't an amazing goal scorer. He was just an amazing centre midfielder. Kirchhoff was a defensive mid, which we already have, and had injury issues. And Stefan Schwartz, like you say, didn't contribute in the way that Don Hutchison did.
And wanted to go to space. That's just
wanted to go to space. So, yeah, he had his sights on other things. So I really think you have to go Don Hutchison.
Mike,
I'll concede to that. I liked Reina, but I did think he played a lot more than he did. But yeah, he was.
It was his injuries. I think he came in this season. Hutchison left, so he played one season, and then the next season it was so early on he was out.
Knee ligaments.
We sold him. Yeah, the year after, I think. Like we said, we got relegated to City before they were good.
Yeah. Right. Yep. That's good with me. Hutchinson and Ball.
So happy.
Good. So there you go. So our team so far is Tommy Sorensen, John Keir, Gary Bennett, John Mensah, Michael Greer, and then Kevin Ball and Don Hutchinson in the middle of the pitch. Great stuff. It's taking shape.
I'm a bit gutted we didn't get Bardsley now because we've got a cracking fighting team going on here. You know,
I mean, it's not like John Kay isn't going to kick shit out of them anyway. I think you've done all right when the weakest member of your team is Michael Gray. Like,
yeah, looking good, right. So on our next one, we're picking our wingers. I'm guessing our wingers next time. But until the next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.